Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Strawberry Sundays podcast. We have man, myth, legend Jaff with us today. Jaff, how are we?
I'm well. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, very good. We'll get straight in. We don't want to keep the chat waiting any longer. So if you want to go into a bit of detail about yourself, for anyone that doesn't know, yourself and your content.
Yeah, so my name is Camille, aka Jaffainc. I am primarily a Warzone content creator, but obviously, consider myself a bit of a content creator for all different games, but obviously a bit of a competitive Warzone player in itself. And yeah, that's basically it, really.
Lovely stuff. Straight in. That's what we like. So do you want to go into a bit of detail about the name? So how did that come about?
Yeah, so it's a very, very funny one, actually. So some people that would have known me from years and years and years and years ago, I used to be called XX Devastor XX, which was primarily after the Transformer. I was obsessed with Transformers from a very, very young age. So when I made my own PlayStation account, I made it after that. Basically, long story short, my account got hacked and loads of stuff got robbed from it. So they permanently banned it. So in college, finally bought a PlayStation 4. And I thought, well, all the boys came over who were like, bought a PlayStation 4 that day, set it up. The boys came over to watch me open up some packs on FIFA. And they all sat there like, what do we make my name? They're like, your name's Jaffa, turn it into Jaffa. I was like, eh? Because yeah, turn it into Jaffa, but not the same surname. So I was just like, I tried Jaffa. Obviously, that
Yeah.
was taken. And then the INC at the end means absolutely nothing. Everyone thinks it's incorporated, incoming, everything like that. It means nothing. It literally just means absolutely nothing. So obviously Jaffa is primarily Camille Jaffa. My surname is spelled Jaffer, or obviously Jaffa AA. I mean Jaffa. So yeah, and the INC means absolutely nothing. It was just kind of done on the spot because we all wanted to open up packs. You see on FIFA.
You see, they're the best names though, the ones that you just throw together,
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
because that just that fits. Like you
Yeah,
say, people think it's incorporated, think it's other things, but like with meaning nothing, like but it just fits. It
yeah,
looks right,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, we love it. So, like you say, your majority Warzone. Have you always been Call of Duty based though, or did you do things prior growing up or anything like that?
So I've since the age of year six, how old would I have been then? I've been playing Call of Duty, so Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
When Infinite Warfare came out, could say Black Ops 3, but mainly Infinite Warfare. I dabbled into the competitive scene and attended my first LAN event in Infinite Warfare. Now I was also in university at that time as well, so basically I was juggling university and competitive at the same time. So I've also played a lot of Destiny. I used to play Destiny competitively as well. The Destiny scene was never as big as Call of Duty, and never obviously. Hopefully, it will be in the future, but obviously now it is nowhere near as big. I used to compete for money then as well. I used to compete for in Fortnite as well. So BR's have always been my very strong suit. Coming from Fortnite, coming from H1Z1 back in the day. Some people who used to watch my stream would have known me from my H1Z1 days, constantly going to the top ranks. I never really competed in major tournaments in H1Z1 because it is a very, very you had to have the clout to kind of get in there, if you get what I mean. Like there was
Yeah.
no skill or there was no way for like someone unknown to get in. Fortnite, on the other hand, played Fortnite at quite high level, won quite a lot of money off it. To be fair, quite fortunate to do that while in university as well. But yeah, that's basically my background really. Mainly Call of Duty, mainly BRs, bit of Destiny. That's basically it really.
Yeah, so I can imagine, like you say, there was a lot of BRs in there. I can imagine when Warzone was sort of released,
Yeah.
that was like, an excitement straight away for yourself,
Yeah.
linking Call of Duty and the Battle Royale.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you start straight away from Warzone day dot, or did you give it a
Yeah.
couple of months to?
No, no, no. I started from day dot. So I think it came out March last year. Is that correct? Warzone.
Yeah, I think so. I
So
think it was
March
March last
last
year.
year, I believe it basically furlough just hit in the UK. So I got furloughed from my full-time job, and I just saw it as an opportunity. I just saw it as, you know, Warzone, Call of Duty, which is my favorite game to, my favorite ever, pub stomping game. BRs, which I've always, the people that are very close to me, I always call myself the self-proclaimed BR king because I know how to read games quite well. It's a bit of an egotistical thing, but I actually call myself an ego. Yeah, I call myself the BR king because, like I said, my Fortnite background proved it. The level
Yeah.
I was competing at, I earned a lot of money. I was completely unknown and earned so much money in the current circumstances where I could only put like an hour or two in a day and sometimes like an hour or two a week, you know? Um, so when it came out, I was like, this is my time. This is my time, you know? This is my time to
Yeah.
just go for it. If I ever wanted to time say what if, this is the
Mm.
time, give it everything 100% of my time. And obviously I'm in this position now and clearly it worked out for the best.
So as you mentioned there, you're in the position that you are now. We all know. We've seen it on Twitter. We've seen the clip. You are a partner on Twitch.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate.
Um, huge, huge achievement.
Yeah.
Um, and I can imagine, obviously, like I say, I've seen the reactions. Um, you were clearly, ecstatic with that. So, what sort of feeling is that, though? Because if I'm not wrong, you'd had a couple of emails back from them to say that you didn't achieve
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then to finally be able to achieve that. So, what's the sort of feelings behind that?
It's a sigh of relief, to be honest with you.
Mm,
Um, I felt like throughout the whole stream, my community itself, my mod team, especially my mod team, um, I've had like a really, really hard year in regards to mental health, everything like that. To get rejected so many times and you feel like you should have had it. So obviously I was only going to apply if I felt like I deserved the opportunity, right?
mm,
And when I got it, and that day when the Twitch employee came into my chat, said hi and stuff, got the email, I couldn't believe it. To honest with you, to my day, to honest with you, right now, I still can't believe that I've got a tick next to my name. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's
yeah.
fully set in. I
No.
think once I get those opportunities to be like Twitch rival captaincy spots and other captain spots coming my way, people see me as a Twitch partner, so I'm worth looking at, in regards to viewership, figures, and all that type of stuff. I think then and then only it'll kind of settle in, the opportunities coming away, this, that, and the other. Obviously, it's my first step in my career. I set it out for my New Year's resolution this year. My goal was to get Twitch partner, and there's one other thing which is to win a major tournament. Those are the two, and then I've got a few other little goals here and there. But
Yeah.
the other goals come and coincide with the other two, if you get what I mean.
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, it's like I said, for the mod team myself, everything like that, it's like a massive weight off our shoulder because we work so hard. Like I said, I would like to say it's an achievement as a community as well. Obviously, the community that we've all created together, it's achievement for ourselves. Everyone that comes into my chat every single day, they all should be proud of themselves because they're the ones that support me day in day out. Either guessing up with tweets, they're putting me in front of everybody else, the other streamers that they coincide with. They're all
Yeah.
just putting my name forward, and obviously they've all worked together, and look where we've got ourselves. So yeah, I'm honestly super proud of myself and the community itself. Honestly, it's a big achievement, a very, very big achievement. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's clearly deserved. The hard work and the graft that I see you putting in, it's definitely up there with where you want to be at and the goals that you
yeah,
want to achieve. And I think that's all it is. Like you say, putting in the right dedication, putting in the right
yeah,
grind, making sure that it's in the right places. I see a lot of people doing ridiculously long streams,
yeah.
and that's not necessarily the way to go, in my opinion. It
No,
is
I
like you
agree.
say,
Yeah,
the tourneys, those sorts of things that people want to get your name out there and that sort of thing.
100%.
Um, but yeah, like I say, huge congratulations to yourself.
I appreciate it.
I think I can't remember who it was. Previous guest said that it took them about 3 or 4 weeks to finally realise that it's set in about being partner.
Yeah,
Um, for it to fully, like you say, after those opportunities come in, the more recognition that you get from orgs that are running tourneys, invite onlys, that sort of thing.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
to get those opportunities because you are a Twitch partner, yeah,
Yeah,
opens so many doors.
yeah,
So
100%.
so we'll get into sort of the background, so the real start of when you started gaming. I know you said sort of Call of Duty 3, that sort of time.
Yeah.
But was that your first ever gaming experience, or was that just
No,
your first ever Call of Duty?
no. My first ever gaming experience to my date that might I can remember would have been the age of 4. I played Pokemon Silver on the old, those very old Game Boys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Really
Game
big
Boy
ones where
Colors.
you had to actually put on the light as well, over the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
That's my first gaming experience. My first ever, obviously I was playing it before then, but my biggest memory of it is I went to um I went to Cape Town, South Africa, which is where my auntie lives from my dad's side of the family and my cousins. And my older cousin basically gave me Pokemon Gold, and I had Pokemon Silver, and then he also gave me Pokemon Yellow. So my oldest gaming memory is that I used to just play like loads of Pokemon
Mm.
for hours and hours and on end. I've been the biggest Pokemon fan from, like I said, since childbirth. So that's my first ever gaming experience. The Pokemon, 100%.
What a game as well.
I
What a
know.
game to
I
start
know.
on.
I know, yeah.
I think that the sort of generations that we were and the games that were sort of out, when we were young playing on was so before their time.
Oh
You
yeah,
got games like
100%.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's still huge now. It's not like it's
yeah,
fallen off the map, but you don't beat Pokemon Yellow. You don't beat Blue, Red. But both the Silver and Gold, like little Game Boy Color, you're away. It was
yeah,
just like you say, you
yeah,
could play it for hours. You weren't, you know, crazy.
yeah. Nah, 100%, 100%.
So, are you currently on PC at the moment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, when was sort of that transition? Have you always been sort of a PC gamer, or was it sort of consoles
N-
first?
No, so obviously I've been primarily into console. And then basically last year, so there's a bit more of a background to me. I used to play World of Warcraft quite a lot. Me and one of my best mates in real life, we were part of a very big Mythic raiding team, which is like the higher tier content. Early last year, which had been about March time as well, really ironically. Obviously, I was during the days I was just grinding Warzone and just playing on my console and creating content as much as I could. Early last year, my PC packed it in to a point where I couldn't play games on it. I could still stream off it, but I
Mm,
couldn't play games on it. So basically, I basically bought a PC that was good enough for me to play Warzone and stream on the same rig. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So from then onwards, I've been basically a PC gamer. I've got a PlayStation 5, but I don't touch it. I mainly use it to play Destiny in my very, very spare time, which I don't have much of, or
Mm,
I watch like Netflix and stuff like that on.
yeah.
My background's always been console. I mean, I always play controller myself. I don't play mouse and keyboard, you see.
Yeah.
Because I find it very relaxing to use a hot controller. You can sit back, whereas you play mouse and keyboard, you're uptight and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, my whole background's always been console, really.
Yeah. I'm guessing sort of like you say when it packed in and Warzone was obviously able to be played on PC. Was that always like a thought jump for yourself? It wasn't sort of move to PS5 and play it on PS5. It was always like, do you know what? Let's get a PC. Let's play it.
Yeah,
Because I know obviously the gaming experience is a hell of a lot better
yeah. So,
on PC.
like I said, yeah, my friends were always PC gamers. Besides the one, Steven, he was always console. But he's like me, prefers like relaxation of a console and just to kind of
Yeah.
relax. You see, my mates have always sworn and lived by PC. The graphics, the FPS, this, that, and the other. So I just said to myself, you know what, screw it. If I'm going to take this seriously, I've got to reinvest into my craft.
Mm.
I said that since day one. If I'm taking this seriously, I've got to reinvest into my craft. And the first thing I've got to do is buy some of that I'm able to kind of like stream and play off at a decent, a decent kind of quality, if you get what I
Yeah.
mean. And I just did it. I just did it. I just because like I said I'm a firm believer in you only get back what you put in, and
Yeah.
you're gonna sit there and kicking yourself all day if I never bought all this stuff, invested into this stuff. I could be sitting there next year. Yeah, I could have this time next year, which would be now. I could be sitting there thinking, "Oh, I didn't invest in it properly. And what
Mm.
happens if people didn't think I wasn't reinvesting in this, that, and the other?" And you know, you got to take those big leaps when you get opportunities like in this in regards to streaming and stuff like that. And luckily, like it's all paid off, like I said, because I won't be sitting there with this setup. I won't be sitting there with a tick and this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Like I say, I think that investing back into your craft is such an important thing, especially growth wise. Because like you say, you want to keep improving your content, you want to make the
Yeah,
quality better, you want to make the overall experience a hell of a lot better. And obviously, with the times, it keeps improving. More stuff comes out, more graphics cards, that sort
yeah,
of thing. So, like
yeah,
you say, it's a
exactly.
constant, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. But if like you say, if you can keep on top of that,
Yeah,
um, like you say, where you get opportunities like, you're gonna get, and these big tourneys and even the smaller tourneys that pay, um, you get a win on a small tourney, which is, I don't know, £200 each. That's a microphone for you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
exactly.
all
Yeah,
it all
I do
invests
agree.
back.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think a lot of people see that. You know, if you win these little spies monies, invest it into your craft. It's so important, honestly. You know,
Yeah,
um, and you can tell in like production quality if you do all these type of things. Those little the way I look at it, right? If you want to take like competing seriously or content creation, even if like you're kind of like me, where you're primarily content creator, where you want to build a community side of it, but obviously you do Warzone competitive at the side because that's what's doing well for you at the moment. Investing into it now, early on in your career, right? And you are 100% dead set that you want to do this, right? Invest into it now. In the future, all the money that you make through gaming, all the money you make through Twitch, all the money you make from YouTube, whatever it is, tournament winnings, it's all in your pocket at the end of the day.
yeah,
That's the way I look at it. You invest into it now, you prove to your community, prove to everybody else that you're worth looking at, you're worth picking. And then after that, all the money's for yourself. Spend it on a holiday, spend it on clothes, spend it on cool skins in a game, whatever you want. Do you know what
yeah. No, exactly,
I mean?
exactly. And like you say, the more the better sort of equipment you have, the better setup you have, the
Exactly.
more professional your stream looks with the graphics, that sort of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
The bigger tournaments come in. That's where you start playing these 100k tourneys where the
Yeah.
big money, really comes in
100%.
into play.
100%. Yeah.
So we'll ask two parts of this question. They may coincide slightly,
Yep.
but sort of what was your best content moment to date? So we can go one with the community. So what was your best community moment to date? And then
Okay.
also gaming as well. So whether that be Warzone, whether that be Destiny, whether that be any other game that you play. Um, so the two separate sort of experiences, and like I say, they may coincide slightly.
So my best gaming moment would have been it's not actually from a big major. It was my first ever tournament win, but it was against very, very, very good players. So my favorite gaming moment would have been I played with FIFA in July last year in the Dukies and Wars tourney for 5 grand. And me and FIFA won it. Um, Tom FaceTimed me at that point. Me and Tom's friendship was kind of new. Obviously, me and Tom are like we've known each other for a year now, and good friends now. And he FaceTimed me and told me how much he was proud of me, this, that, and the other. And sent me loads of texts after saying how much he was proud of me, go out and get that bread and stuff. So it was not only just a really good gaming moment for myself, winning that tournament, it wasn't like a big tournament. Like I said, I've competed in Toronto 100K,
Mm.
Syndicate Sundays I played in, and that's obviously where I kind of made my name for myself and came third in it. It was winning that tourney because, I never seen my chat move so fast. Um, all the Jaffa were coming in and just, completely gassing me up and FIFA up, and everyone was so excited. And like I said, all my close mates, Ryan, Tom, my close mates and real like really close to me were all really gassing me up in DMs and text messages. And like I said, Tom rang me, Carl rang me, everyone rang me, and it just felt really good because from that day onwards, you have your doubts at the very, very start of your career. Like, am I actually gonna make this? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Into a job. Do you know what I mean? Everyone
Yeah.
does it. No matter where you are, in real life, you get a full-time 9 to 5 job. You doubt yourself, like, am I gonna do this? Is this
Yeah.
something I want to do for my life? That day onwards, I was like, wow, I built something here special, and I'm not letting this go. I only want to grow this from now on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I only want to do this, no matter how the lows hurt, no matter how low it gets, I'll still keep pushing. And like I said, I enjoyed throughout the end of the year because my biggest community moment is genuinely from, it's a weird one, genuinely from November last year till about March this year is my biggest community moment.
Mm.
um no, went through such a very, very low point in my life where it was very noticeable on my streams, very, very noticeable how much my depression was kicking my ass, really.
Mm.
For multiple different reasons, lows. Honestly, I was at a very, very low point, the lowest point in my life. My biggest community moment is the fact that everyone stuck with me, literally through the literally through the thick and thin. It was so low, content wasn't always 100%. Content wasn't always positive. Content wasn't always go, 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 finger on the trigger, 100%, go at it, energy, 100 million%. It wasn't. Um, it was quite low because, like I said, my anxiety was kicking me in the ass, everything like that. My biggest community moment is the fact that everyone stuck together and was still the community. Do you know what I mean? They
Mm.
weren't necessarily there for me every single day. They were there for the community. So that is my biggest community moment. And you know what? Like I said, the Jaff in the chat, or whether if they're watching it after it's live, they know that they did that big achievement of the laying the groundwork, and now, like I said, the sky, there's no limit to it now. There really isn't any limit. We are growing day by day. I went through a period where in, like December time, January time, November time, where, I turn on my stream and I wouldn't even gain like a follower for the day. Now I turn on my stream and I gain like double digit followers every single day, majority of streams, which is bloody crazy. And you know
Yeah.
what? It isn't that me that did it. Obviously, I'm the person in front of the camera creating the content. It's the Jaffa that did it. And that is my biggest. It's not one whole moment, like a one that speaks out to me the most. It's the whole picture. That's what I look at, because the community, what I built, is so loving, and I couldn't have asked for a better community. I really can't.
Yeah. I think that's the main reason why I ask sort of a question to separate the gaming and the
Yeah,
community side of things, because there is gaming moments where you do have those magical moments. However, it is just gaming.
yeah,
Where there is so many magical moments that you can have with your community. So many magical moments that you can have with Twitch, other content that you create. If you upload a video on YouTube, for example, and it pops off, and you sit there on the other side of your screen, and you genuinely feel like, wow, that's me who's done that with all these
yeah,
people's help, with
yeah,
everyone behind me. And like you say, I think a lot of gamers go through that sort of tough spell. And Twitch is a magical place for bringing people together,
yeah,
dragging people through it, and that sort of thing. It's really, really good to, you know, like you say, help people. You might stream, and people might not tell you this. I know that a lot of people have started to open up and message people directly and say, "You are bringing me through a tough period."
yeah,
And I think a lot of people don't realize that, especially it gets to like yourself, where you go to sort of a partnership level, you have that number of people watching, And
Yeah, 100%.
without you think how many of those people don't talk in the chat, they're just there to enjoy, to watch, to
Yeah,
support. You don't know what that person's going through. And I think, like you say yourself, you can always tell that a streamer cares about their community and things like that, the way that they speak, the way that they hold themselves. And I think you're, a clear, aspiration for a lot of these up and coming content creators,
yeah,
on how to
100%.
sort of bring their community with them, bring them up with
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
and not
yeah,
just sort
100%.
of leave them behind, sort of thing. Because ultimately, look, you don't get that purple tick, you don't get those opportunities without those people in the chat. It's as simple
Oh
as that.
no, 100%. Yeah, you need to have those people in the chat to yeah, it is very Switch has a very unique formula in regards to how it works. It's genuinely like having a real life community. And the way I look at it is it's like having a football community, right? Football was built off just a community, right? It was built off working class people coming together, having one thing in common, and they built clubs on it, right? Look at those clubs right now. Twitch has its own formula, and it's so quite tight knit. You know, my community set it aside, right? The Jaff, yeah. You look at the M fam, yeah. Nick Merckx, look what he's done. They are forced to. They are massive, right? Huge community. M fam reeks everywhere over Twitter and on Twitch, right? Everyone knows about. If you're on Twitch, right? You know about M fam. No matter what game you play, you
Yeah,
know about them. Just because of and that's why these Twitch is so unique in the way it is. It has such a good formula, and that's why other sites don't have this, right? Twitch is such a very, very, very big. Build your community right. Put your community forward. It's a very family oriented website. You can build your
yeah,
family on there, and it's such a special thing to do.
yeah. No, definitely. And I think the amount of hours that people put into the app, I think, it's perfect. Like you say, with that, that sort of family aspect, and you're growing as a group, as a community, that's perfect for the amount of hours you're putting in. People helping
Yeah,
out, getting involved. You've got that whole community with you, and it's like they sort of go, okay, well, Jaff's normally live at this time.
yeah,
I'm going to make sure I'm available. I'm going to make sure that I'm in there. Um, and yeah, it's like I say, magical place. People make friendships within the community. People
yeah,
start, linking together. Like you say, MFAM. People around the world meet up with the MFAM. He does all these barbecues. But you see photos of people that have met at barbecues and sort of relationships forming, and you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and it's crazy. All from playing on an app, playing
yeah.
games as a
Just playing
group.
games. Yeah,
It's
it's crazy. It's the
it's
future.
crazy.
It really is the future.
Yeah.
The way I would, the one thing, big thing, right, is they always ask you, "What do you do for your job?" Well, I play games for a living. And, like the older generation struggle to comprehend it, right? The
Yeah.
example I give to everybody now, right, is that people instead of watching TV, they prefer to watch me.
Mm.
That is literally it. So, like I said, yeah, like, my grandma was one of them, right? She struggled to, she understood, like, she goes, why would people want to watch you play games instead of playing games? So I just said to my grandma, I said to him, well, here's an example, grandma. You like watching football, but you're not going to go out and play it, are you?
Mm.
Some people don't have that ability to play games at my level, so they watch me instead. Some people like me for me, and just like how you'd watch a movie, you'd watch, I don't know, Iron Man, Sir Robert Downey Jr. You'd watch Iron Man because he's Sir Robert Downey Jr., right? Because he's such a cool guy. You know, you cling on to his personality. Tom Holland, Spider Man, you know, all those actors, you cling on to those people because they have the personality to do so, right? So that's it's the future of the world now. Everything's going to be online, and TV will be online eventually. You know, you won't need a Skybox. You can just go online and watch it on Sky Go. Do you know what I mean? Why would you
Yeah.
want to watch on a TV box in your house when you can literally put it up on your phone or your tablet or on your TV through the internet? Do you know what I mean? It's all crazy
Yeah.
now. But yeah, it's so cool.
Brilliant. So we'll get on to the final part now. So we've got three questions left.
Yeah.
Two questions that might again coincide together,
Yeah.
and then the one mystery question that we ask all our guests. So that one's got you got to look forward to that one. Um, so so who is the best person that you've currently worked with within the scene and why? Now again, that can range from all of your content that you've produced, even if it's just playing a game with them on Warzone, playing a game with them on Destiny, anything like that at all.
um, does it have to be strictly someone I've played with?
No, not necessarily any sort of content that you've made,
Okay.
or just had that
Um,
conversation with and that sort of link.
I would have to say Ryan. Ryan.
Hmm.
Um, Ryan, because Ryan is, you guys, if people in the chat, and if yourself, if you've watched him, you know what he's like in front of camera. He streams. He's also Tom Syndicate's editor. But behind the scenes, Ryan has helped me a lot, setup wise, mentally, playing games. He always includes me in everything whenever he can, obviously, within reason. And he's just such a good friend to have. I consider him a very, very close mate of mine. Me and him would literally end our streams, and we'd be in Discord from 12 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the morning. We
Yeah,
did that for about 3 months straight. Talk about life advice, all the stuff that gone through, all the stuff I've gone through, giving each other advice, and just being mates. So not necessarily, we don't necessarily play every single day anymore because obviously, like I said, he's always busy and I'm always busy. But regards to who I've worked with in and outside of the streaming world, it's got to be Orion because, like I said, he's given me so much of his time. Um, and like I said, people that watch me in my chat won't realize what he's done for me. And then just to also just tie it in there, Carl as well. Carl would, I went through like a really rough patch in my life, and he'd ring me, FaceTime me, and stuff like that to make sure that I'm okay. Yeah, I get on with Carl, the boys in general, just me, Tom, Carl, Sprat, Benny would hop on. And people usually play with each other, and it's kind of like a stream on stream thing. We hop on them with the boys. We hop on them with
yeah,
friends. Do you know what I mean? We hop on.
yeah,
We go on there to have a laugh. Yes, we may play some sweaty Call of Duty every now and then because in the group chat in the morning we decided, we really want to play some sweaty Call of Duty today, yeah. But
yeah.
we hop on and we're mates at the end of the day. Very, very close mates. And um, if I could say all of them, I'd say all of them. But specifically, got to be Orion because Orion's, like I said, he set so much time out for me. He's taking time out of his day to sit me in a call and taking time out of my day to literally, when I was having issues with setting up a Go XLR and this mic, he was
Yeah.
I was on FaceTime with him for 4 hours and he was explaining it all ins and out to making sure that I understood it, you know? Like I said, people don't realize what he's done for me because it's all behind the scenes work at the end of the day.
Mm.
But definitely Ryan. But if I could pick all of them, definitely the group of boys, as we call ourselves, the Octub Boys. But it's like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's again. I know we keep mentioning it, but like sort of how much of a magical place it is. Sort of
Yeah,
these friendships that you build up.
yeah, yeah.
Um, you know, at the end of the day, from just playing a game, it's
Exactly. You just
it's
never do.
it's
And
crazy.
honestly, like I said, me and the boys always keep talking about how we want to meet each other, but we're all so busy at the moment. Can't wait for
Yeah,
the day to meet the boys and share a beer and everything like that with them because it's going to be a bloody great day. I can't wait for it.
yeah. Okay, so now it sort of reverses to who the best person that you haven't been able to work with yet. So if you could pick anyone again that you've not worked with, who would
Yeah,
that be and why?
Aiden,
Aiden.
Aiden, just straight up Aiden. Um, I feel like me and him have a very close, similar personality.
Mm.
Um, I feel like the reason why I want to do it is because I just feel like I'd be able to vibe with Aiden on a whole new level. Do you know when you watch someone and you'd be like, that guy is basically, we have so much in common.
Yeah,
We act the same way. We are kind of very similar people. I'd just love to be um be with him just in a like just to play with him, as like a mate. To add on to that, one other person who's inspired me a lot is Hex, the
Mm,
Optic Gaming owner. Um, I would love to just to speak with him for 5 minutes in a phone call, just one on one, private,
yeah.
completely private. The guy's way, the way the guy works and how his brain works and what he's done and what he's built is. You look at Twitch communities, right? This guy built a community through an organization which he invested all his money into, and now the whole world screams Optic Gaming. If you are
Yeah.
into gaming,
Mad.
you know Optic. Even if you play CS, if you play League of Legends, you
Yeah.
play anything, you know Optic Gaming. So, you know, Aiden 100% would love to work with, love to play with, get to know him. Was an honorable mention. Hex, 100%.
Yeah. No, I think two brilliant choices there. Like you say, two people that you'd love to pick, pick
Yeah,
their brains and just kind of have that conversation.
yeah.
Okay, now, so the final mystery question. So, you're on a desert island.
Yeah.
Okay, you can take 3 items with you and one person from the Twitch community, or just gaming in general. So it can be, Twitter or whatever. But what we tend to do is someone that your community can relate to. So someone who your community kind of knows and can sort of bounce off there. But you got one person, 3 items, and you're stuck on an island. Who would that be?
Oh, 3 items, 3 items. Is food all there? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So there's things there that you can eat and stuff, but obviously
Okay.
that you'd have to like hunt and whatever. But it's not just in a
Um,
box.
I take a football. I'd take because there won't be electricity there, so I can't exactly take my setup. I take a football. Oh God, help myself if I lost it in the sea. Um, I'd take. I can't. I can't. I don't want to take a generic answer like my phone because I can't think about how am I going to charge it.
I'd
Um,
let you take your phone. We'll
right.
say there's one. We'll say there's one port.
Okay, there's one port, right? So I take my phone, I
Yeah.
take a football, and I'd probably take me bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the person I'd take from my community would probably be um
It's a difficult one because
it's
you got
hard.
to think who's not going to annoy you that much because you're stuck on an island with them. Like,
Uh I'd probably take Jenna,
okay,
even though
so
she
we've
would
got
annoy me. I'd still take Jenna.
okay, so you've got Jenna with you.
Yep.
You've got a football, a bed, and you've also took your phone as well.
Yeah, it's a hard one because I'd either pick Lisa or Jenna, but I'd probably pick Jenna.
Yeah, I mean you've picked it now. You can't
Yeah,
backtrack. You're
I've got
stuck.
to pick Jenna. Yeah.
You're on the island. You're stuck now. Um, no, I think they're quite smart answers. We've had all sorts.
Yeah.
People taking compass, what a sword. We've had some. Like you say, two people that you'd strange answers.
Yeah. Sword.
um, yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a weird answer, but we don't judge.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. We don't
I guess you
judge.
could use it for fishing, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could, hunt and stuff like that with it, um, or whatever. Or obviously, if the person annoys you to the point where you want to be solo on the island,
Yeah.
the sword could come into hand.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
could do
but
actually, yeah.
like I say, we don't judge. We don't dive too much into it. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure. Your community is incredible. I've been reading the chat off my phone. That's why I keep looking down. And it has been going off the whole time. And I think that just shows, it is another thing for yourself to show how big your community is, and the support they show yourself. Because again, it's not even yourself streaming. You've jumped onto have that chat with me, and your community's really come through.
No, no,
Um,
I'm glad. I'm happy
so
you having me on, mate. Honestly.
no, again, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure. For anyone that caught part of the podcast, it will be uploaded to Spotify and also YouTube. So keep an eye out on either my socials or Jaff's as well. We'll get that out there to see the whole episode. So, like you say, if you've missed any of that, that'll be uploaded later on tonight. But again, thank you all so much for the love. Enjoy your day, people.